Hey ladies and gents, welcome back. This is going to be part 7 to What If Naruto Was a Demon Lord. So with that being said, make sure to like and subscribe. This video once again is not going to have a like goal. It's either this part or the next part, which will be the last part, so I wouldn't really make too much of a difference anyway. Make sure to check out my Discord, I'll leave a link to that in the description where you can just post different what if ideas and other things like that. So with that being said, let's do a brief recap of what actually happened in the last part before getting into the new material of the actual what if. So basically in the last part, Naruto went back to this tavern before going into the underworld. So, as Naruto entered the underworld, he met the Demon King Diablo, who basically made Naruto, or not really made, but had Naruto kind of enter a tournament, of which Naruto absolutely decimated everybody, until he got to the point where some of the higher ranking Demon Lords came in, until Naruto was the second strongest Demon Lord that pretty much ever existed, right beneath Diablo himself, who, right at the end, challenged Naruto. So, that being said, let's get into the new material of the What If. So, as Diablo jumps down from the stands, on top of the throne that he was sitting on, towards the top of the stands, he lands down onto the arena with a loud thud. Naruto would obviously be quite intimidated by this, because he is said to be literal, tens of times stronger than even than the first person he challenged off against at this point, or at least probably about 3 times as strong as the person he just defeated with pretty decent amount of difficulty. So Naruto knows that this is going to be quite a challenge for him, and this might actually be kind of difficult. Oh, and one other thing, Naruto might actually, that red form I'm talking about, that's like a mixture of Kurama and the Thingy-mabobber, or Kurama and the Demon Lord, so the red and the black mixing together. That's what that is, in case you guys were actually wondering what that meant and what that I was talking about. So, anyway, let's actually get into what's going to happen with this fight. So, with the Demon Lord Diablo jumping down, he lands on the arena with a loud thud. Naruto, like I said, is very intimidated by this and he backs up a step. But then, regaining his composure, he steps forward once again, and they start facing off against each other. As this is happening, some random casual Demon Lord would basically begin the actual battle. They would basically yell fight, and Naruto and the Demon Lord would begin fighting. Naruto immediately entering that mode that he used to actually kill the last Demon Lord, or the second strongest one, who I didn't really say a name for. So, as Naruto would begin this fight, immediately, once again, just like the fights that he's been in previously, at least for or the last fight he was in, he's at a pretty immediate disadvantage because of the massive power difference between the person he just fought and Diablo himself. Diablo is said to be the strongest Demon Lord, and it's for good reason. He is very powerful, and he would easily be able to kill Naruto with pretty much no difficulty. However, or in base form and shit like that, but not when Naruto's in this red form, because he's probably around 50% of the power of Diablo, or making it so that he's not going to get one-tapped, basically. So Diablo would be comboing Naruto, sending him flying backwards, and Naruto would be trying to dodge, trying to evade, but almost every single hit would land, and Naruto would barely be able to dodge any one of them. Naruto isn't taking absolutely massive amounts of damage, because Diablo isn't using his full power at this point. He's kind of toying around with Naruto. So, Naruto starts to power up, and Diablo notices this almost immediately. And he notices, slowly but surely, as little, tiny, the most, microscopic red specks would start forming around the plate mail that Naruto was wearing. Diablo would notice this, and realize that he has to do something about this before Naruto fully transforms to his full power. So with Diablo going, to his maximum potential, to his maximum power, he starts once again facing off against Naruto. So with this happening, Naruto would have no real way of actually defending against this, and he would be literally almost unconscious at this point. He's been basically being smacked around the arena for the past 10 minutes, and Naruto would be able to do absolutely nothing against the massive power that Diablo actually holds. But as Naruto's thinking this, as Naruto is basically thinking all of this, the red specks start to get bigger, and then they start merging with the black, forming a swirling pattern around Naruto's entire body as it coats in this void black mixed with this crimson red color. And as this is happening, the armor gets a little bit thinner, making it so that Naruto, for one, has more mobility. It makes him look more like a knight than, I don't know how to put it, but he looks more like a knight than a frickin' paladin or something like that at this point. Naruto's sword gets a little bit leaner, a little bit thinner, but still with even more cutting potential than it had before. As this is happening, Naruto's wings also get this weird spiral pattern around them. So with Naruto now transformed to his final form, his full power, he stands up, because he was on the ground at this point, nearly unconscious. Seemingly revitalized, Naruto stands up, looking at Diablo, who kind of has a little bit of fear. Knowing that Naruto is stronger than the Demon Lord that once challenged him and almost killed him, he knows that he might not actually be able to win this fight. But as he's thinking this, he knows that he has to do it. He knows he has to use absolute maximum power. He has to try his absolute hardest, and he has to kill Naruto before Naruto even gets stronger. He doesn't think it's possible, but for all he knows, it could be. Naruto's grown so much just in the span of this tournament. He doesn't know what Naruto's going to be able to do later on. So using his utmost power, he charges at Naruto. But to his surprise, Naruto doesn't dodge, doesn't evade, doesn't try to do anything. And as the punch lands, Naruto's head moves probably about a millimeter back before stopping completely. Diablo holds his hand now, realizing that hurt a fucking hell of a lot, and he wasn't expecting it to hurt so much. Holding his hand now, which is literally like pulsatingly, like it really fucking hurts. He's like, what the fuck was that? Naruto draws his sword now, and it looks more like a scimitar than anything else. Naruto charges forward once again, and he brings the sword down, similar to what he did when he first unlocked his weird, like, scale mail form, and he brings it down, and he's about to cut Diablo in half, but then Naruto falls down to one knee. This power was too much for him. He falls down to one knee, and he's nearly unconscious at this point, but this typical anime moment, Naruto stands back up. Thinking about Alice and Hinata, Naruto stands up as the spiral pattern once again forms around Naruto, and he brings his sword up for one final blow, chopping Diablo clean in half. Yeah, I had to do it with that ending just to be a meme. I had to make it like that typical anime ending, because why the fuck not? So, as that is happening, Naruto is crowned as the Demon King, the king of all of the different demon lords, and he has permission to reside wherever he wants now. He can reside in the underworld or in the overworld. Naruto would obviously choose to reside in the overworld, and he would take a few demons with him, ones that he actually liked, of the ones that he's met. So, with Naruto re-entering through the portal, or through the same gate that he exited out of, most of the demons didn't really know what was happening, how Naruto literally is now the strongest demon lord, and he walks out, and they all immediately notice the presence difference in Naruto. He's a lot stronger, and seems to have a lot more confidence, but as Naruto walks out of the gate, he's immediately followed by hundreds, but maybe even thousands of different demons. So, Naruto walks across the water. Because I can say he does that, but obviously that would take too long, so he sprouts his wings and flies over to his castle. So, as Naruto flies over to his castle, he greets Alice and Hinata, and he kind of explains a little bit of what happened. Obviously, they would think that something interesting happened, considering Naruto is still alive, and he seems a lot stronger than before. So, they congratulate Naruto in ways that I can't probably explain on YouTube. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about, considering the previous parts of this What If, but we're not getting into detail about that. So, after Naruto does that, the two girls still laying in the bed after Naruto leaves, because again, Demon Lord stamina. So, king of all the Demon Lord stamina, I guess you could say. So, Naruto re-exits his, basically, bedroom before walking out, and basically sitting upon his throne. As one of the demons that Naruto kind of, wanted to come with him walks out, he basically asks Naruto what they want him to do, what they want them to do. Naruto basically looks at them and he says, "We're going to be expanding," and he asks what Naruto means by that. And Naruto would look at him and he'd say, "We're going to the mainland. We're going to take over, and I'm going to rule there." And the Demon Lord, or basically this random Demon Lord that Naruto kind of likes a little bit, would be like, "Oh, but that's against the rules, Master." Naruto looks at him, he's just like, "I'm the king now. I don't have to follow the rules." And obviously the Demon Lord would not really question this, knowing that Naruto actually has a point. He's kind of the king of everything at this point. Not even God himself would really be able to challenge Naruto at this point, if there is a God. I'm not saying there's a Naruto God. Maybe there is, I'm not sure. Maybe that'll be Naruto's final villain at this point. That'd be hilarious. Naruto gets another bullshit power boost, but I might make this the last part just because, like, I don't know. We'll see what I want to do. We'll see. So, Naruto basically kind of snaps his fingers, making them go all to work. All of them would sprout their wings. There's like 100, basically, really pretty powerful demon lords at this point, would basically start flying over towards the mainland. And as Naruto basically would follow them, wanting to find out what they're about to do, the first target would be the Leaf Village. Naruto enters it, and explains his terms, basically telling them, you either join me, or you die. There's no in between. They obviously would not want to accept this, and they don't think that Naruto could have grown too much in the time that he was, did stuff. Naruto went to the Leaf Village alone at this point, knowing that he doesn't really want all of his demons to massacre everybody there, and he'd have to do it himself. So nobody would really accept this, other than maybe like a few random people that know that Naruto might be a little bit too much for them to handle. So Naruto basically standing there in the opening of the Leaf Village, everybody would have stopped him, obviously. He explains his terms, and then obviously nobody would really want to accept this. So they begin basically saying that they're going to kill Naruto now because of the fact that he's kind of like, these aren't in Naruto's rights. He shouldn't be doing this. Naruto never explained that he's kind of like the king of all things now. So they would basically be like, okay, Naruto, we're going to kill you now. Naruto's like, gave you the option. So Naruto closes his eyes. Sighing, he kills all of them. A single blast, Naruto destroys the entire Leaf Village. With then, Naruto uses his creation magic, because I'm going to say he can do that now, because why the fuck not at this point? As Naruto uses his creation magic, the Leaf Village is completely blown away. Nothing is there anymore except a massive, basically, mountain, a hill of dirt and everything like that. And then grass starts to spread all around it, before saplings and eventually trees would start forming all around the mountain, growing at absolutely incredible rates, and then it would look like a natural lush forest, and with nothing really too different about it. Naruto sighing, knowing that he can't really have anybody from his old life in his new one anymore other than Hinata and Alice, he ends up going to all of the other villages, with the same conditions. He would basically destroy all of them, because not many people would actually join. Naruto might get, maybe 10 to 15, maybe 20 more people to actually join him, but most would just immediately die to Naruto's massive power. So all of the villages would be completely decimated. The villages would be destroyed before recreating into a forest or a desert, depending on where the village would actually be. So with that happening, the entire world is pretty much rid of all civilization, other than on those certain islands that Naruto wanted. So now, Naruto goes to the basically exact center of the land, and he basically puts down a flag. He turns around to all of the demon lords following him and explains what he wants them to do. Build an absolutely massive castle in the middle, using your magic, or I can use my magic because Naruto's that cool now, and then we're going to build civilization out from there. We're going to make civilization over this entire mainland. So, Naruto uses his magic and creates his own absolutely massive, lush castle, similar to what the Demon Lord had, or like the king of all the Demon Lords had, except on the overworld, with massive, basically, pillars and everything like that. Naruto enters his castle, giving everybody their orders, like build this, build that, you go do farming, and basically just making it so that civilization can return once again. So, with that happening, Naruto would become the king of the world, with 2 women by his side. Maybe he'll have more later on, but at least for the time being, Naruto only has 2, that being Alice and Hinata, which eventually he would marry both of them, because Naruto's just that kind of guy. So with Naruto, basically, that being the ship, obviously, like, I'm pretty sure that was obvious from episode, 3. So, with that being said, Naruto becomes the complete ruler of the world, and slowly starts building civilization out, where nobody would really be able to challenge Naruto to pretty much any degree. The world would basically reside around Naruto at this point. So, with that being said, that's where I'm going to leave the last episode off, because this is going to be my last part. There's nowhere really to continue from here, because Naruto wouldn't really have any future competitors. Maybe Naruto would have to challenge off against God, but Naruto wouldn't have that much difficulty, and even if he did, I would probably just give him some frickin' ass-pull power-up, where Naruto's chakra starts forming, and the swirl pattern starts reversing around itself. becomes blue or some shit like that. It's like some weird random bullshit. So Naruto, he wouldn't really have too much difficulty against the god in the first place. So Naruto would rule the world. So yeah, see you guys in whatever my next what if is, or whatever I post next. See you guys later. Bye.